And so I kind of like let it, just drop off and switched my focus to, my now boyfriend. And I'm so glad I did, because he's amazing and we've been dating for a year and a half now.
Yes, Anna.
Yay.
This was the latest, hopefully the last overlap.
Yes.
The last overlap.
It better be.
That I've had with Anna. And when I tell you, she has taught me a big life lesson. Like, talking to Anna about Blondie specifically, this last overlap, she really brought it home for me when it comes to men. Besides the successes that they have, the money that they have, whatever status that they have, them being ready for a relationship and determining if they are, and if it's good for you to keep wasting time with them or to move on. And sometimes I'm the same way. I see a shiny thing and I'm just like, ooh, it's exciting, but I'm looking for something long-term and serious. I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for kids, all of that. You can't do that with everybody. Even it doesn't matter how shiny they are right now. Like, what is it going to look like in down the line? And Blondie specifically, you guys know I love my high standards, high value man. He's a lawyer, and not just any lawyer. He's like big business lawyer. So as soon as I started talking to him, I was like, oh, so let me know when you're ready to put a ring on it, because this man is like, you know what I mean? Like, so I would always joke with him about it. I'm like, oh, you're gonna make big bucks. Like, sign me up for the Mrs. card. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I noticed the same thing, that he was like emotionally unready. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but just like sometimes like I felt emotional immaturity from him. Not to put him down at all. I'm just saying that I don't feel like he was ready. And specifically for me, he was ready for a long-term committed relationship. I don't feel like he was ready for any of that. I feel like he was still, going through the grieving process of the loss in his life, trying to find his true identity, his true self. He was just a little bit behind. He was like a few steps behind me where I'm at, because I'm ready for a relationship, and he's not. He's just a few steps behind, which is fine. It wasn't, I feel like sometimes when you meet the right person, it's like right place, right time. You want to be in a place where it's going to make sense for you long term and things like that. Yeah. And what Anna was telling me, she was saying that, you need to go for someone who is available and who is ready.
You need to go for someone who's going for you.
Yeah, exactly. And is ready, like, it's ready. It's like, because he's like the whole package. It's like, because I've had guys go for me that are not ready. Right. Like, I call them the broke boys club. Sorry, honey, you're not ready for me. But like, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about mentally broke, spiritually broke, financially broke, all of it. I just mean like, we want to be in a good space in life. You know what I mean? And so that was changing for me. It was like that conversation that Anna had with me. I appreciated it so much, because I needed to hear it. Yeah. I was just like, why is it not working out? What is going on? Why is it that this is not working out in these situations? And you're, like you said, like, who is really for you? Who is really going after you? Who is really available for you? Life-changing conversation from Viva La Curvy over here. Like, and I truly believe that's how she stepped into her now current relationship with her boyfriend. I see them together. They're so cute together. They're always like, like a unit. You could tell like they have like chemistry. They have a vibe going on. Like, they're together. And so, like, tell me how that went about and how you met your current boyfriend and how that's going. And
so yeah, I mean, obviously, that summer it was kind of between him and Blondie, where I was, really just, oh yeah, he's gonna listen to this and be like, what the fuck? But he kind of knows. He knows. It was me weighing pros and cons between the two, and ultimately I went with the person who I felt was ready to, and the lesson of the conversation is like, go for people who are ready for you. And it was, I have to admit, I feel like I was being the fuckboy in the situation. I felt like I wasn't I'd never ghosted him, but I felt like I was definitely slow to respond. I was tough to like schedule.
Why do you think that is?
Because I was still focused on Blondie. I was still kind of like chasing that down and and seeing like, is it worth it? Like giving it a last shot kind of thing. And unfortunately, you know, I with the potential of potentially losing him, you know, this great person, and I was just like completely blindsided, right, and focused on this person that I shouldn't have been. And so with that change in mindset, and we both had our own trips. Like I went to Vegas, and he went back home to the Midwest. And when he came back, he reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And he now told me, like, later on after we started dating, that like he's like, that was my last attempt to like reach out to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And but I want to say for the record that I never like not hung out with him. Like every time he reached out to hang out, I would hang out with him because I wanted to hang out with him. I just wasn't initiating as much as I probably could have.
Right.
And so he reached out, and so we hung out. We went to the beach, and I just had the best day. We spent all day. Like, to spend a day at the beach with someone, that is a long time to spend with someone, right? And romantic. I just like felt like, wow, this is nice. I have no complaints. He's not annoying me. Like, this is cool. I feel good about this. And it turned into a weekend. He slept over. He actually met my best friend and her husband, who got really, really drunk. And he actually ended up taking care of my friend's husband. And it was just like so sweet. And then he called me out. And I feel like that's what I needed. I like needed to see that from him, because he's going to be so upset when he hears this, but it's like, he kind of felt like, not a pushover, but like, he just felt like soft. And I was like, I wanted like a little oomph in a man, right? You want someone who's like going to like fight for you.
Right.
And he was being very passive in his fighting. Just reaching out, being like, do you want to hang out? Do you want to hang out? Like, yeah, I want to hang out. I'll hang out with you. But I wanted to see a little fire there, and that was what I needed. The fire was him drunkenly at that night in the diner being like, do you even like me? And I was like,
oh, I love that.
Whoa, okay.
Yes. Yes, I love it.
I like you, and I am sorry. I've just been very distracted, and you know, I made a very conscious decision when I went out with you that day on the beach that I want to focus on you. And that was kind of like the start of it. And so we consistently started seeing each other and like going on dates. And then my Bumble profile back in January, we first matched in March, and our first date was in March, was like, I was looking for a wedding date in August, and I asked him to be my wedding date in August, and then we made it official. And so, yeah, things have been great. He is the epitome of like, if he wanted to, he would.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, he is. Like, he just like brings me flowers just because. He sends me like handwritten love notes in the mail. He just shows up to my apartment with like snacks. Aww. Like, he just like does things without asking, and it's like everything that you would want, you know, that you don't even have to ask, which is like the best thing. So I am very, very grateful and very, very thankful to have found him. And we've like done so much already. We've gone traveling. I've met his family. He's met my family. We went to LA. You've met him. Yes. He met like all my model friends.
Hey.
And so yeah, it's been good. And so I'm so excited to see where it goes.
I am so happy for you. Thanks. Anna. I'm so, like, this is what I want to see. Like, I want to see more plus size women happy in relationships, being treated well, not being hidden because we're fat, like all of these things. Like, I want to see this, like, you being treated like the queen that you are, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are so cute together, and just many, many more blessings to you. And Thank all you. The good things for you.
Thank you. And I hope you find the same thing. I hope every woman out there, you know, who's struggling with her body and doesn't think she's worthy of love, because I was in an abusive relationship, and coming out of that, like, I never thought I would ever find love. I thought I was ugly. I never thought anyone would love me, and that is not true. You are worthy of love, no matter what you look like, no matter what shape you are, color, And you know, there is someone there that will love you for who you are, even like the worst parts of you. They will find endearing, and that's how you know, like, it's a good match.
Yes. I thank you so much for coming on my
Thank
episode,
you.
my show. Will you tell the people where they can follow you? Any last thoughts? Let us know.
So you can follow me on Viva La Curvy, VIVALACURVY on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yay, and thank you so much, everyone who's watching the show. I'm just so happy to provide a platform and a space where you can hear from different women and their lives and their backgrounds and what's going on, all related to modeling, living in a plus-size body, dating, relationships, the good, the bad, the ugly. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
As if it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.